Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and today we're going to be going into the Amazon tool deals and checking out some of the items that I've found for this week. These are either going to be items that are on sale, items that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, or items that I find interesting and would like your guys' input on if you guys have used them. All of these items will be linked down in the description for you guys with their own independent links, so they're easy to find. I'll have 2 additional links that say tools and tools continued. Those are going to take you to a long list of tools that I've went over in the past or other tools that I suggest, so that's all there for you guys. But first up, we're looking at the Craftsman Shop Vac. This is a 16-gallon, 6.5 peak horsepower. The horsepower thing is kind of a gimmicky thing with vacuums. Doesn't really mean much. But this is a good vacuum for the price. Down to $144, down from a list price of $193. Now, it never really sells at the $193. It typically tops out at about $160. So this is just Amazon's way of showing a better deal than they typically are, but it's still on sale. It's still a good price. Sometimes you'll find this around the $135 price range, but if you're looking for a larger shop vac, then this is a good option for the price. There are many different brands out there. I recommend, if you're looking for one that maybe not this big, VacMaster makes some fantastic ones. Rigid makes some fantastic ones. For this style, I think it's a good price. This one does have the built-in blower as well, so it's not just a shop vac. I'll show you that here in just 1 second. We'll go through the photos. It does have the detachable blower, the cord reel on the side, muffler diffuser, those kind of work. The locking hose, which is really nice. My Rigid is the same way, so basically when you're pulling the vacuum by the hose doesn't just come out of the shop vac. It does have casters on this model. It's got a large drain for if you're using the wet side of this shop vac. There you can see all the different attachments and accessories that come with it. The part numbers, depending on if you want to add additional things to it. You can pick up longer hose sets, add-on hose sets, different couplers and things like that. But keep in mind, this is a very large shop vac. I tend to, for shop garage, car detailing, stuff like that, I usually stick to about a 5-gallon just because they're like the perfect size for me. Nothing too large, still very easy to maneuver and very mobile. Where these ones, yes, it's on casters, but if you're going a lot of places or, maybe going upstairs, carrying a shop vac this size is not going to be very much fun for very long. But if you're one that does woodworking or construction or, something like that, or where you're just dealing with a massive mess, something like this can be handy. And this not just being a shop vac, but also a blower, that's just an additional feature. I can't state what the blower is like, but at $144, I think that's a good deal. They also have the 12 horsepower one at $180. So this bigger one is an even better deal than the smaller one. But that is just something that I wanted to mention real quickly. I did find one that I also think is a good deal. This has 4.6 stars at 1,326 ratings. And then here is the VacMaster 6-gallon, so a little bit, 10 gallons smaller, a little bit more mobile, a little bit easier to maneuver around. Still a wet and dry shop vac, but with the detachable blower. I'm not sure how this blower compares to the Craftsman, but if that's a feature that you're interested in, both of them do offer it at $96, not on sale. And on sale, sometimes you'll find it around $70, and then coupons added on top of that sometimes. So at this price, I still think it's worth it. I still think it's a really good price, but keep in mind that you can find this on sale for an even better price. But all around, I think this is a good shop vac. This one is 6-gallon with their 5 peak horsepower, if you want to go based off of that. But as far as VacMaster, when it comes to any of the shop vacs that I've used from them, even outside the B series, the suction on them is very, very impressive. This has 4.6 stars at 8,473 reviews. Next up, we're looking at a Klein Pliers Set, and this is a USA made set, and I think this is a really good price at $66. It's down from a list price of $70, so not a huge savings. And the lowest deal that I've seen on it recently was $61. But I think for 3 USA-made pliers, this is a really good deal. Basically, $22 per pair. And they have multiple different sets as well. Like here, you can get them with a screwdriver set or a wire stripper or a multi-bit screwdriver. But I thought this was a nice little variety for those that may be looking for a good quality set of pliers with a little bit of variety to them. Maybe you're just getting into it and you want some good stuff. I think Klein makes some fantastic stuff. If they're the styles that you would find yourself using, I think $66 is a good price for this. This has 4.8 stars with 3,428 ratings. Next up is another Klein product, and this is probably one of my favorite wire cutter crimper tools. So I've used like Snap-ons or the knockoff like Nikos, but the real knockoffs, the ones that look identical, the icons, I have those. That's also like my favorite design. This and those are like my favorite designs. I have, I don't know, probably 5 different wire crimper and strippers combo sets. Klein has a lot of different ones, and this is one of my favorites just because it is a heavier duty set. They don't feel flimsy like a lot of those cheaper ones. They are made in the USA. They have nice heavy duty handles on them without being like extra like comfort grip thick. They're just a nice comfortable thicker handle, but the tool itself is just heavier duty. You have a nice solid crimper up front with a cutter, insulated crimper and non-insulated crimper. You have a cutter at the bottom as well as the wire stripper at the bottom, and just overall a fantastic set of pliers. One of my favorites. There you can see it crimps 10 to 22, strips 10 to 18. And there you can get a little bit closer up image of the tool itself. I think Klein did a fantastic job on this set. Now, keep in mind, this is not on sale. Very rarely on sale. When it is, you may be able to find it around $30, but it is very rarely on sale. So these are just some of my favorites. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. This has 4.8 stars with 1,229 ratings. Next up, we're looking at a DeWalt Toolkit. This is the 3-speed oscillating multi-tool, and I purchased mine maybe 2 years ago, and it's one of those tools that I should have bought a long time ago. These are fantastic tools to own. I bought mine for $170, I believe. I believe it's the same one too, but mine came with two free power stack batteries. I was basically paying more for the tool for the 2 free batteries. So even though I paid a little bit more for it with those 2 additional batteries, I thought it was worth it at the time. And by golly, I use that thing all the time, and it is just a handy tool to have around. Even if you're not in a profession that you probably find yourself using this all the time, even if you don't do anything like that, this is just such a handy tool to have around. Even the blades that just come with it, not buying anything extra, it's just a very versatile tool. And at $100, I think it's well worth it. You get a battery, the accessories, the charger, and the bag for $100, down from a typical price of $125, which it does sell every once in a while at $125 here on Amazon. This is one of those sets that is typically $99, and you'll be able to find this at Lowe's and Home Depot, Acme Tools, all for $100 right now. This has 4.8 stars at 10,600 reviews. Next up is the car wheel dolly. This is a set of 4 of heavy-duty wheel dollies, and these are fantastic if you have a project car or something in the shopping garage that maybe is a project and doesn't have an engine in it, and you got to be able to move it around, or even if it does, maybe you have a shop and you're trying to put it in a location that you wouldn't really be able to shimmy the car into that area. Being able to put the car on dollies and move it around can really be helpful. And there are tons of different designs out there, tons of different brands out there that sell these exact same things, rated for different amounts. And then they have the real fancy ones that you can just put underneath the car and use the hydraulic pressure to lift the vehicle up off the ground. With this style, you have to jack the vehicle up, place them under the wheels, and then, let it down on it. But they do have the other ones, which basically lift the vehicle and carry it, but those ones are about 4 times the price typically. So I think this is a good option if you're not trying to spend $400 and you want to be able to move things around. And it's more than just vehicles. You can put whatever you want on these, primarily vehicles, but it's basically a dolly plate rated for a lot of weight. At $129, I think that's a good price. This has 4.5 stars at 1,346 ratings. But just looking at some of the other brands, like here's a VacMaster set for $100, but the ratings on that weren't very great. I didn't like this design just because they have all of these bolt heads on top from bolting the caster in. I don't like the idea of that. But here are the ones that will actually lift the vehicle. These ones are at $372, but there is a coupon to bring it down to $355. This is $390, $508. But let's move on to the last item. Next up, not really a tool, but something that if you don't have one for your garage or shop or where you hang out, it's just fantastic. I have one that's almost identical to this. Mine is from New Air, which I've had since, well, this one I've had since 2019, 2020. I had another one prior to it for about 2 years, but I took it to work when I was on the race team, and we had it in the trailer, and the trailer caught on fire, and I lost that fridge, and New Air was kind enough to send me a new one when they found out that mine had melted in a fire. So I have really enjoyed it. It's a great size. It's better than like your $100 Walmart one. These hold much more. The shelving layout and the depth is just much better than the super cheap ones, the ones that you find all over the place for $100. Now, if you're storing food and things like that, then yeah, maybe one of those designs are a better fit. But like this, I've used for years and absolutely loved it. Now, this is the Honeywell one, 115 can fridge. It has held up really well. This is set up almost identical to mine, except for the temperature adjustment up at the top. Mine is a dial and an LED light. I'm pretty sure there's an LED light in this one as well, and a temperature adjustment. Adjustable shelves, adjustable feet. I mean, this had a lot of good reviews, 4.4 stars at 1,158 ratings, so I figured I'd mention it. So I really like this design of fridge, the glass door, the LED lighting, the capacity. I just think they're a great little addition. Anybody can, enjoy having one. So that's it as far as this week's Amazon tool deals. All of these items will be linked down in the description. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.